Sweet. And we're good. Kristen, what's going on? How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Wanted go ahead and fill everyone in. Like, tell us about yourself. What do you do? Where you are? Where you're at in life? What's your family life look like? Fill us in. I want to get to know Kristen today.
So I started giving TikTok my all back in October, but prior to that, I'd been dabbling in TikTok shop. I never knew that you could even sell anything on TikTok. And one day I just so happened to hop on and I was like, what? You can sell stuff and make stuff on here? Like, that's so easy. I want to do it. Um, and so I kind of just found some laundry detergent. My laundry detergent is on TikTok shop. And so that's how I started. And I was making around like $100 a month, but also like I work a full-time job. I'm also a mom. So I was just posting here and there, nothing consistent. And then I kind of fell off. And then back in October, I was making some life changes and working full time. I was like, I'm not where I want to be in life. This is not what I'm meant to do. I'm not meant to work a full-time job and just do the same shit every single day. And so that's whenever I decided to make lifestyle changes. Honestly, it started with I stopped drinking and then I took a look at my life and I was like, I'm living on the weekends like I've already made it. And I've not made it. I'm not where I want to be. So also I want to get back into TikTok shop, but if I want to do it, I want to make sure I'm doing it right and I'm investing my time to where it's actually going to pay off. And I want to see the outcome of where I can be when I'm consistently putting in the time. I don't just want to be making $100 here and there because to me it wouldn't be worth it. So that's whenever I got on TikTok one night and I came across your videos and then you were on, I think, a live or something. And then I reached out to you on Instagram. And then it was just like a huge leap for me. But honestly, I've never believed in myself more. Like I'm kind of delusional when it comes to how much I believe in myself. I'm like, there's no option for me not to win. So if I'm giving this my all, then I'm gonna win.
Yes.
But yeah, instantly jumped in and it's been a journey. Let's just say that. I mean, you've been there with me along the way. So you know my ups and downs, my
Oh,
struggles. I've went 24 hours, 48 hours without sleeping. Don't recommend that. But it was in the beginning, I was over analyzing everything to where it didn't need to be overanalyzed. I was spending 4 hours to post a video because I was deleting it, redoing it whenever obviously we all fail at things. So just put them out there, see what you get. But it's been a struggle, but definitely now, almost 6 months in, it's paid
yeah.
off.
It
So
is. It's one of those things, like you said, first off, you had the mindset when we first talked. One thing about Kristen, I've been looking forward to this call for a very long time. I'm like, I knew immediately on the first call, I was like, she is going to be a killer at this because I saw you were trying, you were posting videos and I was like, we just need a little bit of a strategy shift. I'm like, the work ethic is there. She wants it. She's going to win. I was like, it's just a matter of when, not if, which is like, that's why I'm super excited to be on this call today with you talking about your results. But, let's take a step back though and go back, prior to working with me, what was your TikTok shop strategy? Did you have any strategy? What were you doing?
I did not have a strategy at all. I was just finding things that either I had around the house, or then I got to the point where I'm like, oh, samples. This is cute. I want this. I would buy this anyway. So let's just get in all these samples. Then I got like a sample coupon or something for a couple $100s, and I had all these samples, and then I was literally in what they call sample hell. And I was like, what did I do? This is awful. And then honestly, I was obviously making sales here and there, but it wasn't anything consistent. I was literally just throwing spaghetti at the wall, just hoping, it would stick. And then I would get sales here and there, but it wasn't anything consistent to where I'm like, I know what I'm doing. Like, this is going to make a difference in my life. I didn't have any rhyme or reason to what I was doing.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people too, like they're showing up, they're consistent, but there is strategy in this game. There's strategy, and you got to combine that with the consistency. And then all of a sudden that luck component of TikTok Shop, it drops significantly, right? You don't need a lot of luck to be successful in TikTok Shop. It's really just, are you going to show up every day? Are you going to put the work in? Are you going to be working at the right things? And for you, one thing you're really good at is those 1% improvements. Every single day you're looking at your data. You're like, how can I show up today, and how can I make my videos a little bit better? You're constantly studying videos as well. So it's like the work ethic has always been there. And for you just needed a little bit of a strategy shift, which is exactly what we did, right when we started working together. So what made you, I guess, in this point, decide to invest in yourself for coaching for something like this?
Because again, like, I just like know deep down, like I'm meant for something greater than going to a 9 to 5 every single day. And like what we all say kind of is building somebody else's dream with your time, where, I work for a smaller company, so I do enjoy the people that I'm with. But at the end of the day, I only have this one life, and like I'm missing things with my daughter, or like even going to doctor's appointments. I have like that anxiety of like, should I be doing this? And like, that's so unfair. So for me, it was, I know I can and I will do this, and I'll eventually get there, but I want to get there faster. I'm a very impatient person too. So I'm like, I know I will get there because that's just who I am. I will figure it out one way or another, but I want to get there faster if I can. And I'm willing to invest in myself because there is no failing. Once I set my mind to it, I am going to achieve whatever the goal is, but I wanted to get there faster. I didn't want to wait. So also, like, seeing your journey just like lit a fire underneath me too. And I was like, why not invest in myself? And then like, I could be doing this another 6 months from now. Either way, the 6 months, it's going to come. But the thing is, like, am I still going to be where I'm at now in 6 months, or I'm going to be kicking ass and making changes in my life 6 months from now? I don't want to be stagnant. That's not what I'm about. So I'm going to invest in myself now. So in 6 months, I can be like, see, I told y'all, this is exactly what I told you was going to happen. If you just invest in yourself and just believe in yourself. And here we are now, 6 months later, and it paid off.
Yeah, it's 100% paid off. That's absolutely for sure. Walk me through, after we started working together, walk me through what the first few weeks looked like. Like, was it easy? Was it hard? What is it that surprised you? What were some, changes that you started implementing? What were you doing wrong? Just talk to me about that.
I wouldn't say anything about this journey has been easy, honestly. I think I overanalyze everything, and like, you give me any little bit of information, I'm already 10 steps down the road. So I'm like, okay, well, now I have this, but this, and this. So for me, it was like, I had to realize, like, I need to focus on like right now in the moment, and the tools that you're giving me, instead of you giving me the tools and then me trying to figure out the next 5 steps. So it was really just focusing on the tools that you're giving me and realizing, like, I can only focus on my 3 videos for today, and then analyze the next day and then go from there. And I think whenever I just focused on the right now, what I can control, it made a huge difference, because I was implementing those changes in my videos for the day and then going to the next day, instead of worrying about like what's up ahead or what challenges I'm going to face in the future. So just implementing and focusing on like, and taking all the notes like in our calls that we were having, and just putting those tools into effect in my videos that I was posting, and then focusing on the things that I didn't feel like I was understanding. I would also take the time after our calls and like watch the YouTube videos, or even like the books that we had spoke about, just doing homework outside of my homework. Because if you think it's going to like just click like that, for me, that's not how things work. But also, if you want to see, the changes in this to change your life, then it has to be something that you're investing in every single day. You can't treat it like a side gig, or you're not going to see the payout.
No, it's so true. It's like anything else. You can think of it like hiring a personal trainer for fitness, right? It's like he's going to tell you, on the hour you guys have together, what workouts to do, what to eat, right? But he can't be looking down your shoulder every single second of the day. Like, are you doing this? Like, the amazing part about you is you always went above and beyond, right? You're out there. You showed me the book Cash Advertising, like, hey, you should read this.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I made it homework in the community now. But like, you're going above and beyond, right? We talk about things on the call, but you're not just taking information from me. You're taking information from things that you gather from your own knowledge. You're studying videos. You're putting so much work outside of the calls, which is, what it takes, right? Like, that is, again, if you're in a fitness program, what are you doing the other 6 days of the week? Are you eating good when no one's watching? Are you like, are you posting every single day? Are you iterating? Are you looking at your data? These are all things that you do, and you're living on Calidata, right? You're always looking for new products. You're sending them in the chat freaking daily at this point. It's awesome. You don't even have to do that. You're just awesome, super nice, and helping everyone out. She always wants everyone to win. That's like the coolest part about Kristen. But you're actively iterating, and you're not waiting around for results. You're just focusing on your inputs, which is the main key component on TikTok Shop. Is what are my controllable metrics? How frequently I post, and what's the quality of my content. Like, those are things you can control. So focus there, and the results will come. Like that's been proven over and over and over again. We're going to talk about your numbers here in a second, but one thing I want to talk about, you're a full-time working mom, right? And a lot of people wonder, like, how much time commitment does this take? How do I pull this off if I'm working a full-time job and I'm a mom and I have all these other responsibilities? I know you're going to say it's not easy, and it's not, but walk me through how you found time to actually do this.
Again, it has to be something that you're passionate about and you really want to see a change in your life, because I think if you aren't truly invested, then you're not going to see the outcomes and you're not going to make those. It has to be a lifestyle change. And I don't think unless you're truly invested in it, then you're going to be able to make those changes. It's not just like, again, a side gig, or you can't treat it that way. So I invest every free time that I had. I don't have free time. I don't have any free time. So like, even my lunches at work, I use that to either film my videos, review my analytics from the day before, and figure out, like, break down what I'm going to hit later on whenever I get home and I film my videos. Then you just have to use your free time as investing in TikTok. So anytime I have said free time, I use it to put it into TikTok. My lunches, even whenever I was going to the gym on my lunch, I was watching and listening to TikTok Shop information. So on ways just to get better. So it's like, how are you investing back into yourself? And that's how I see it. Me taking the time so that I'm not spending my nights doing everything at once, because that is a burnout waiting to happen. So when my daughter goes to bed at 8:30, I was spending my time reviewing my videos and then creating, laying them out, writing them out. And then I was filming them, editing them, and posting them all at the same time. And I was literally going insane. So I had to use my extra time. So my lunch breaks, that's the time that I use to review, lay out my videos, or I'm filming them, and then whenever I get home, I can edit them and then post them. I don't do it all at once anymore because I was literally just burning out that way. But also, if for some reason I don't get sleep the night before and I'm having to do everything at once, I was honestly coming home from work and napping for an hour, and then I was waking up and doing everything. There's been several times I just don't get sleep, but you figure it out. I'm like, I'm putting in all of this effort in my inputs now to where it's going to pay off in the end. But that's where I'm like, you can't tell me anything. You can't tell me I need to do this or need to do that. I'm like, you couldn't pay me to not post 3 videos a day. Like, I was going to come out no matter what.
Absolutely. Yeah. You always showed up and showed out. That's really what it takes, right? You got to ask yourself, if you're wanting to do this, right? And you are in a situation where you're working full time, maybe you have kids, right? Like, you're in both those situations, but you're not using that as an excuse to why you can't do it. You're just finding time to do it. You're using your lunch hours, right? You're being more efficient with your time. And then as you be more efficient with your time, right, you find easier and better ways to make the video. So now I'd imagine you can get out videos a lot faster than before because your process is probably a little toned down. You know what you're going to be making, you know what scripts usually convert, you know how to find products faster. So it gets easier, right? It's like the gym, right? I always compare things to the gym, but you're going every day, right? First, it's going to be painful, you're going to be sore, and then you're actually getting better, you're more efficient, right? You're actually doing this properly and you're seeing the results come through. So that's one thing too, you know, for a lot of people watching this, if you're working full time, you got to ask yourself, what do your 5 to 9s look like after work, and what do your weekends look like? Are you willing to move this up on the priority list? Because the higher of a priority this is, the more likelihood of this happening fast happens, right? If it's down here, you have all these other things, and TikTok shop's down here, then if you're not treating it seriously, it's never going to become a full-time serious gig. So you have to treat it seriously if you want this to replace your income. That is one thing that everyone who has hit these numbers while working a full-time job has in common. It's, it's not easy, but hell, it's a hell of a lot easier than a lot of other business models. I'll tell you that. I think it is the easiest way to make money on the side of your job right now. And you've proven that there is no excuse. If you're working, you have kids, and you want it bad enough, you're going to go make it happen. So let's talk real quick about what do you think the hardest part, this process has been, or has there ever been a moment maybe you doubted yourself, or you've received judgment from others? Because I'm sure that there's been a few.
Absolutely. So I think after like the first 2 months, I really didn't see like what I wanted to see personally. And then I think around that time, like violations started. And then I was seeing like other people winning, and I was like comparing myself to, because me and a couple other people had started at the same time, and they were seeing wins and I wasn't. And then I was like, well, heck, maybe this isn't meant for me. Like maybe I do need to reevaluate a couple things. And I was thinking that for a minute, but then real quick, the delusion set back in, and I have to realize like this is what everybody needs to realize, is everybody's journey looks completely different. And that's what I had to, take a look at, is like our journey is different. Maybe they are seeing wins right now, but maybe they won't be, next week. It looks different, and I can't compare, just like in day-to-day life, you can't compare your life to somebody else. Everybody's journey is completely different. So yeah, it has been, we've had our ups and downs. And like now, after my biggest month, I just had an account get banned. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But again, like I'll get there again. I'm just going to continue to do what I know works, and you can't stop me. So we're going to have roadblocks, but again, if I stop now, I would just kick myself in the butt later. So
the nice part about this, though, is like, yeah, you can get kicked down. I could strip all of your accounts right now down to 0, and you'd be confident enough to get back up to the numbers you're making now, because again, this is a skill set. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, 100%. And just like the Calidata thing that you mentioned, that was my weakest thing. I remember texting you. I couldn't even figure out how to use Calidata in the beginning. I remember texting you, and I was like, I'm so sorry, but I cannot figure this out. That was my downfall, was Calidata. So that's what I focused on. And now I'm like a pro at Calidata, because I was like, this is not going to be the one thing that keeps me down. So I literally I live on there. I'm on there every single day. And if I have a minute in the day, if I'm at my daughter's jiu-jitsu class, I have my computer and I'm on there. I'm still there. I'm still present, but I'm like, this is just something that I have to do every single day now. I'm kind of obsessed with it.
It's amazing to see your progress on there. You're probably, out of everyone in the community, probably the best at finding those products. You're sending them in all the freaking time. And like I mentioned this earlier in the call, Kristen is the coolest person in the world, because she wants everyone else to win so badly. Like she'll put other people before herself. She had an account get banned like a couple months ago. And she actually won a free account, which was like, she was like, heck yeah, I'm going to get my account. Someone else got their account banned, and it was their only account. And so she's like, you take the free account. Like she literally offered it up. It was the coolest thing ever. And then it just so happens the month after that, she had her biggest month ever. Like, talk about God rewarding you for being selfless. That was freaking awesome to see. But yeah, aside from the things and the uncontrollables that we can't control, like there's not going to be much in your way from hitting these huge consistent numbers, every single month. And it's been really cool to see your journey. So speaking of that, let's get into some of the results and the numbers. Prior to working with me, what were your commissions looking like? And then walk me through kind of month to month and then up to where we are now.
Okay. So in October, that's whenever I had not started working with you yet. I had made $100. And then November, so I guess November would be my first. I still wasn't seeing the results, but I made $101.58. December was really when all of our work went into full effect, and I made $443.96. So that was a pretty big jump.
It
And
was.
then January, I went from that to $1,000.10. And February, I jumped from that to $3,501. And then huge jump from February to March, I just hit $6,100.
Unreal. Think about that. When you started with me, like just do the math on this for whoever's watching. Month one, 400. Month two, 1K. Month three, you said 3K.
Yes.
Month four, 6K. We're literally almost tripling or doubling every single month that we go on to this. So you can see, you know, if you just stay consistent, this is the biggest thing. Kristen focused on consistency and staying focused on the controllables. She just showed up and did the work. If she would have given up after month one or month two, oh man, I'm 2 months in and I've only made, but I've made $1,000. I mean, but you look back, right? We look back, wow, 4 months ago, I made $400, which is again a 4x jump from where you were at the month before, and then to 1K, then to 3K, then to 6K, right? If we just keep doubling, I mean, realistically, we should be at 10Ks here pretty soon, but you're also working full time and doing this. And I think we can both agree, if you're giving this a full-time effort and you wouldn't have to trade, you know, your 8 to 9 hours a day at your job, you can be hitting those 12 to 15K months pretty easily. But, you know, for a lot of people watching this, $6,000 on the side of your job, that's damn life-changing money. Would you
Oh,
agree?
yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, that's double what I make at my full-time job. And that's honestly, like, if I was spending my 8, 9 hours that I spend at my job, I'm like, I would be making double this.
absolutely. Yeah, no, it's insane. I remember I made my first $10,000 month on the side of my job, and when I quit, I was like, oh man. And the cool part about that is like you learn how to balance your time efficiently. So when you do quit, you know, imagine how much more productive you're going to be with all the time given in a day to actually put into this. So working on your side income on the side of your job is one of the best things you can possibly do for yourself. It's almost kind of necessary if you are working a full-time job. You want to have some income coming in before you quit. And the nice thing about where you're at now is you got options, right? You're making money on the side of your job. You're balancing it with your job. I'm sure you know you don't have much of a social life doing all this, but that's totally cool, right? Because like it does give you that sense of like freedom for the first time in your life. You're like, wow, you know, I'm making money for myself, and that feels freaking awesome. So props to you from where you came from. Okay, let's handle some objections real quick for a lot of people that are watching who say they don't have time to do this, or I'm just not a person who can do TikTok shop. Who is this for? Who is this not for? And what would you say to the people who say they don't have time?
I think the one thing I hate the most is people that make excuses. So if you're one of those people, TikTok shop is not for you. 100%. If all you want to do is make excuses on why you can't show up, and like I have a toothache or this or that, then TikTok shop is not for you, because we all have daily life shit that happens, and we all can make an excuse, right, on why we don't or can't show up. But that's the difference. And the people that do show up and the people that do see life-changing, you know, money from TikTok shop is, instead of those excuses that we can all make every single day, we still show up. So I think the biggest thing is if you are one of those people, then this is not for you. But outside of that, if you are a determined person who you set your mind to something and you're going to show up every single day, you're determined, you know your life is made for more than an 8 to 5 every single day, I think that TikTok shop is literally for anybody. You know, there's not an age limit on TikTok shop. I mean, the older you are, I feel like TikTok shop is definitely for you.
Yeah, 100%.
People trust you more. So that's what I've been telling people. I'm like, no, if you're older, like TikTok shop is the game for you.
Have the advantage, less
Yeah.
competition.
So I think that TikTok shop is for anybody that wants more out of their life, who knows that they are made and meant for more, and they are willing to bet on themselves and show up, not just for themselves, but for their family. And you look down the road and you're like, I don't want my life to continue to look like this every single day, dragging me in from a 9 to 5. I want time freedom. I want to be able to do these things without anxiety or having to use my 2 weeks of PTO. I think outside of that, anybody can do it if you put your mind to it and you're not going to show up and just try to make excuses, because that's annoying.
When I say anybody, literally anybody, I have a 54-year-old brother. He didn't even have the TikTok app, and within 34 posts, he made like $3 grand. So
I love that.
yeah, dad works full time, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. job, and he just gets up before his job, films the videos, posts them. He's like, "This is easy." I'm like, "Yeah, it's actually pretty insane." So, it's for anybody who is just willing to show up and put the work in. In terms of experience level, as long as you can just film a video, add on-screen text, learn the basics. Obviously, there's growing pains to all of this. When you go in, you're learning a new skill. There's obviously more to it than a lot of people think right up front. That being said, I've done a lot of the business models out there. I've done Amazon, I've done Shopify, drop shipping, all that. And this is the best way to make freaking money right now, especially if you are a beginner or you're on TikTok Shop, you got an account and you're just not making money. Like, it's really just usually a strategy shift. And once you're committed, it's game over. So one other question, what has, the community, how has that played an impact in your life? And do you think that that's important for people to be involved in a community of other like-minded individuals?
Oh, absolutely. So the community is huge. I think it is so hard to do TikTok Shop and not have a community. I don't know, honestly, if I'm being honest, if I would have been able to do it, because there's so much outside noise and outside negativity, and you don't have many people in your day-to-day life that understands at all what TikTok Shop is. They're just negative about it if you talk to people about it. So that's whenever the community is so helpful. Like, I go in there so many times and I'm like, this is, what I'm hearing. This is the outside noise. And everybody in there is just so supportive, so positive. And the way that even like my small wins that I put in there that, other people surpass, however long ago, and they just like support you and celebrate you. And I think that's so important for people that do TikTok Shop, because you can't just call up your friend and be like, "Hey girl, listen to this." And they're going to be like, "Oh, I love that for you." Because also other people that hear your wins, they don't really want to celebrate that, because they're the ones that were a couple months ago down. And then they see now that it's actually paying off. So then they're kind of pissed about it. They're like, well, now, so I think the community has just I go to the community for everything, like the smallest things. And that's why it's so important for me to see everybody else and they're winning too. I'm like, there's so much room for people to win on TikTok. Like, that's why even the products and all that, I'm not keeping them for myself. Like, I want to give them to everybody else so that they can use that. And so I never have to hear somebody say I don't have a product again. Like, I do not want that to be an excuse for somebody to say that they're not making money because they don't have a product, because they're out there and I'm sending them every single day.
Literally. Yeah. There's no excuses really. I mean, once you see, and especially if you're in the community, you see how many products that Kristen posts, but it's like, there's actually a lot of products out there. It's just kind of knowing the correct filters to find them, and everything is what makes a difference. A lot of people fail on TikTok Shop and they don't know that they're on a bad product. And once they learn how to read the data, they'd be like, "Oh, that's why I'm not getting any sales. I'm competing with 4,000 other people." No kidding. So, but yeah, regarding the community, for me, it's always been extremely important too. I joined my first community, and just knowing I wasn't alone in the process, because again, if you're doing TikTok Shop, you're posting videos, you're going to get outside noise from people. I mean, you're going to, even if you're not verbally hearing it, you're going to think in your head, "Oh, what if so-and-so sees it? Like, oh my gosh, people are judging me." Like, I had friends too, who, when I was posting videos, like, they'd poke fun at it. And I was like, you know what? To me, it's just, they don't see the potential in that. They don't understand. They think like 99% of the world, and they'll never be in the 1% because of that. And so that's kind of how you have to look at it. You got to get yourself around like-minded individuals that are going to push you to hit those next goals. It is so freaking important, because again, it smashes any limiting belief that you had when you enter in a community and you can see people that started, like, how many people in there just joined in January, February. We saw the March wins. They're making like thousands of dollars at this point. Like,
it's insane. I'm like 2 months in and you've
yeah. Yeah, well, Thomas had I think Thomas did like what do you do? Over 6K, 7K last month.
I'm like, what do you
9K.
mean? This is baby numbers, and you're making $1,000 and $2,000 1 and 2 months in.
Yeah.
That's baby numbers.
Yeah, it just goes back, everyone, by the way, they're going to move at their own pace, right? Just some people might not see those big breakout months till month 3 or month 4. Some people might have them month 1. But it's okay. You just focus on you, but being in a community of people who are, elevating you to hit those next numbers. Like, I always look at it like, damn, that guy hit $8,000. Man, that's going to be me next.
Right.
Congratulations, man. I love it. But you wait, I'm coming, right? Like, that's the type of energy we want, right? Supportive, but competitive. I think that's what drives a community like this. And that's why I think, everyone in the community is so close and it's very active, which is awesome. I'm in a lot of discords and stuff, and that they're kind of just, there's not like a sense of community aspect in it. And that's one thing that, I'm really focusing on trying to build right now. So, and you're a big driving factor in that. So if anyone watching this ever does join, you'll see Kristen's face pop up, happy face, helping you win. If you ever have an issue, Kristen's first one there, like, how can I help today? It's freaking awesome. I love it. Putting others first. Anyways, Kristen, anything else you want to tell everyone before we end the video?
I do just want to say I am also in a lot of other communities, and I think that you always just do the absolute most for the community. As a coach, you show up every single day and like you come up with the craziest stuff to help us. And I'm like, how do you find the time to do all of this to help support us? So grateful. And like, we could not have a better coach, and like all that you do to like give back to our community is absolutely insane. Like, you're not a coach that just wants us to stay stagnant, and you just keep investing in not only yourself, on the sidelines, you're also investing in us every single day. So I think that's huge. Like, it's really hard, I think, for people to decide like if they want to invest in themselves, but investing in yourself also, like, you're there investing in us every single day, and also investing in yourself and in the community. Like, we're not going to stop growing and stop elevating. And I think that's probably the greatest thing about the community that we're in.
Oh, making me tear up over here. Appreciate that, Kristen. Yeah, I want you guys to win. I always said if I did coaching or anything info related, like, that you guys have to be first, right? Like, your success, especially if I'm the instructor, my success is hinging upon your success. I'm not going to scale or grow a program unless you guys are winning. So my main focus is always you guys first. What can I do to improve? That's why I sent a survey in the other day. I was like, how can I make this better? How can I get y'all more support? And so that's what we want to do, just elevate others to win, show that, there's no limitations to this world. You can really just kind of do anything you want. You just got to put your mind to it and hang around people who are like-minded. But that being said, Kristen, thank you so much for hopping on today. Congratulations on all the success. Based on the sheet I have here on your numbers, we're looking to hit our first 5-figure month here next month. So here we freaking go. Let's lock in. I'm super excited to see your progress, and thank you for being freaking awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we will see loading for April.
Yes, absolutely. All right. See you guys.